Alright, what's good, you guys? It's your boy Zens. I heard y'all want to make some more drum sounds. We're going to be making claps today. Now, originally I was supposed to make this with the snare video, but it ended up being the first in the series, so I ended up having to do a bunch of disclaimers at the beginning. With that being said, let's just get straight into it. We're going to load Serum up. Claps is basically just like an easier version of snares. It's like white noise, no oscillators. You don't need no oscillators really for claps, and then you just draw LFO over the white noise. So I'm just going through noises, seeing which one sounds cool. So for claps, you want to kind of go full volume. So I usually bring the hold up until it brings it all the way up here. You can import noises into Serum, and most synthesizers they have like an import feature, so you can do the same thing in other ones. But yeah, that's really it for the sound of the claps. All you got to do now is just set up the LFO, which is just dragging this LFO1 over to the level here. And it basically acts as another envelope in a sense. In this one, you can actually kind of draw in what you want the noise to be doing. But once you set up the LFO, you'll notice that it starts repeating it if you hold the note down. You want to turn it on to envelope mode. It'll just be like on one shot at that point. I usually just put it on BPM mode, but you can use a few other ones. Let's just leave that here now and do the actual LFO. So I actually want to click in a few new points, which is just double click. We can bring up a clap right now. You basically want to copy what a clap usually looks like. Okay, we don't really want it to sound like this, but this is a good example because you can really see what's going on here. So bring this in. Same thing with the snare video. You just want to copy the dynamics here, and here is a lot more obvious as opposed to a snare. It's like a lot of information filling these gaps here, but claps, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You want to kind of copy this onto the LFO here. So we're just gonna make a bunch of little triangles, and that should be it, honestly. There we go. We made a third one here, and then the fourth one I kind of do this with instead of maybe like that, because that seems like really close. If you bring these closer to each other, you can really see how close it is, but that's just like the basics of like a clap. So now you can kind of just see how fast you want it, how slow you want it, and all that stuff. That's what the rate is going to do here. If you, by moving it up or down, it'll speed up or slow down the LFO. Okay, let's bring this in a little bit. I think it's a little too much noise. Okay, not bad. So let's actually switch it over to BPM and see if we can dial it in a little bit better. And we just bring it out a little bit more. Bring the decay out just a little bit so we can have a little bit of a choice to clean up the tail end a little bit. All you got to do is run that through a filter, and then for the filter is really simple actually. Once we engage it, you got to run the noise through the filter, so you just engage this here. One of the high filters usually does it. You just bring the resonance up, so not this one, but this one probably. You want to bring that resonance up, and then basically want to find like where it boosts like the frequency of like claps. You kind of just got to go through and see what that is. Okay, that's sounding pretty good. Bring some of that high end back out. You can mix it in a little bit. And then just like with the snares, you just run like a simple distortion over it, and that's really it in here. You can even do another EQ if we needed to. And I'm just messing with this little curve here. This is completely optional, like the type of distortion you use here. And then I just did another EQ just to clean up some of the low end. I didn't want too much there because I'm gonna probably take even more out later anyway. So honestly, that's it for Serum. You can just kind of bounce it out. A lot of times what I'll do is if I did a little too much noise, this is probably what the distortion just did in Serum to it. It adds a little bit too much, so you can see the difference between this one and this one. It's like a lot more obvious here, the dynamics of it and stuff. So if you kind of mess that up, which I usually do, I just go in Edison and I just clean it up myself. So you can do Alt F in between and just clean them up a little bit like that to like space it out a little bit more. Something like that. That's not too bad. Maybe I'll bring this one down actually a little bit and just fade it out a little bit more. Really just processing now. We'll just bring up an equalizer really quick. So I just bring in like a quick reference just to make sure I'm pretty close, and we pretty much are. I didn't use like a specific reference like with the snare video, but you can always just pull in a random sound and just make sure like at least your frequency range is still dialed in right. That's usually what I'm doing. I'm not usually trying to like replicate like any exact sound. So firstly, definitely take some more lows out. Definitely seemed like I had a little too much low end going on. That's cool. And then I seen like a little dip here at the beginning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually bring in a regular bell curve and then do our trick from the snare video, 48 decibels per octave. And then we're gonna bring it around to the top end. Hey, okay. I could kind of hear why that dip was there. As like a certain timbre to the clap. What else we got? And then we'll just go around with some more bell curves and just boost some stuff, like kind of pop out the frequencies that work here, or the ones that sound good, I guess. And that sounds good. Add a little bit of like air to it. We'll do another one. It's kind of hard. We keep that subtle. And we'll do some general cleanup too. Let's try to, might have to cut some stuff here. Another 48 decibels. And then from there, bit crusher of some sort. Y'all already know I'm gonna use, but any bit crusher really can work. And then I'll probably put like lossy on there. So let's do this all. We're gonna kind of try to hit all of this at once here because I'm low-key running out of time today. I got a few other things I have to do today. So okay, cool. Bring this back down a little bit. And I think I'm gonna bring this back out just a little bit more. We'll narrow these a little bit. Okay, I like the sound of that. And then we'll just run through some quick presets. Maybe even this one might work. Let's actually mess around with the sampling as well really quick. If we get some different stuff going on. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. And then we just need some texture on top of that. I usually just run lossy on there. You can be a little bit more generous with it on claps because it sounds a lot better on these. See, like I'll probably use this one and just bring the mix back. For some quick work, that doesn't sound bad at all. And then usually I just finish up with punch. Let's just bounce that real quick. Jeez. Look at that waveform. I probably distorted it. Maybe a little too much. I mean, it could work. Like even that, I would definitely go back in and clean it up a little bit more. Maybe let's do like that. Ooh. 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 Sorry. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, I do gotta go. I'm running out of time, but yeah, that's really it for the video, guys. Let me make sure my stuff's still recording. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna try to record when I have time to, but I wanted to just kind of get this clap video done today because it's super simple, as you can see. So that being said, hopefully you guys learned something. Just like last video, links in the description to plugins and stuff. I did end up finding some alternatives to Lossy and some other plugins too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and definitely comment below any questions that you have. Next video, I'll probably stay a little bit longer towards the end to give out some more tips and tricks and stuff because there's other cool ways to make claps and stuff like that too. Like you could use any noise really. You don't even have to use Serum. You could just get a noise and then just do that little LFO thing we did in Serum. You could do it on the arrangement field, to be honest. So you can really experiment, use different type of noise profiles, like I said, and add like little layers to it. Like you could add like an open hat to it. I do that sometimes. You can really go crazy. So that being said, I'm starting to rant, but I'm going to ahead and end the video here, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be kicks. So see you then.